Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to the segment of Coach Gurbani's a-sabad-a-day. Our recitation for the day. a-sabad-a-day मिल हर जस गाइए हाँ परम पद पाइए हाँ उहाँ रस जो बिदे हाँ ताको सगल सिदे हाँ अनदिन जाग्या हाँ नानक पट भाग्या मेरे मना संत पग धोइए हाँ दुर्मति खोइए हाँ दस है रेण होए हाँ व्यापे दुख न कोए हाँ भगतां शरण पर हाँ जन्म न कदे मर हाँ अस्थिर से भये हाँ हर हर जिन जप लय मेरे मना साजन मीत तू हाँ नाम दृढ़ाए मुहा तिस बिन नाहे कोय हाँ मने आराध सोए हाँ निमक न विसरे हाँ तिस बिन को सरे हाँ गुर को कुर्बान जाऊँ हाँ नानक जपे नाओ मेरे मना मिल हर जस गाइए हाँ come together glorify and exalt the Har Self param pad paiye haan to realize the supreme potential, a different consciousness altogether. And in that consciousness, transcendental consciousness, the bliss of oneness permeates. Wa ras jo bideha, tako sagal sideha, and there all excellences are bestowed. In that state of consciousness, the mind is always alert. Andin jagya nanak padapagya. Nanak implores the mind to achieve that exalted state called param pad. How does that happen? Sant pag to yeha durmati khoyeha. Wash the mind at the feet of the Guru. In other words, assimilate Guru wisdom, and with that cleanse the grime of the ego. Daso rein hoeha, byape dukh na koeha. Be a slave, submit yourself to the wisdom of the self, and you will experience no hindrance in life. Bhakta saran paraha, janam na kade maraha. Follow in the footsteps of divine lovers. Follow their example and overcome the illusion of birth and death. Asthir se paeha, har har jin jap le mere mana. By doing this, the mind becomes stable, does not vacillate, and balanced. That is how you achieve Parampad. And there you find the friend and companion and guide, the self. Sajana meet tuha, naam dridhaye muha. You are my companion and guide. This is what I discover. And I am now enveloped by your wisdom. Tis bin nahe koeha maneh arad soeha. There is no other apart from the Har Self. Therefore, devote and dedicate the mind to realizing its highest potential, Parampad. Not even for a blink should this objective escape you. Not even for a blink. Nimakana visareha, tis bin kyo sareha. How can you possibly do without it? Good wisdom, that is. Therefore, Nanak says, I submit to that wisdom. So the reflection in this passage is that Nanak padapagya mere mana. They who have responded to the call and they who have awakened their minds to the potential of Parampad, that state of supreme consciousness, are the fortunate ones. So Parampad is synonymous with Chautha Pad, Mokh Dwar, Sahaj. These are synonymous terms. So the question is, what is Parampad? Or what is the supreme transcendental consciousness? Awakening to Parampad is to become what Gurbani calls a Jivan Mukt, or self-realized, but with a difference. The realization has to happen within the stream of life, in the now. And the realization that one achieves or that dawns upon us is this, that ego consciousness, or haume, which is our ordinary day-to-day consciousness, it traps us in a self-referential loop, which is the idea that I, as an individual, am the locus of all activity and the center of the universe, so to speak. It is the I that becomes the subject, and the entire universe becomes an object out there. This tendency of the ego is what causes a rupture with the underlying oneness of everything. It gives rise to self-defeating narcissistic behavior, which Gurbani calls durmat. So when all experience is filtered through the self-individuating tendency of haume, because it is constantly seeking self-reference and it's self-individuating, it creates the illusion of duality, of separateness, of the world out there and itself out here. And this gives rise to fear, to opposition, to animus. And so the Guru is warning us against this narcissistic, self-individuating tendency of the mind, and calls upon us to become alert and awake to it. Andan jagya. So Parampad is a state of consciousness where the being learns to go with the flow of life, hukam, instead of swimming against the current. Guru wisdom bestows us with that intuitive capacity. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki